Okay, y'all. So listen, Smackdown was very short and sweet. Hello to everybody here. Hey, Don. Listen, Smackdown was very short and very to the point. There was not a lot going on with Smackdown. So I'm not going to keep y'all here too long. We're going to make this very simple. Cody started off the show. Solo and them came out there. They got the arguing about, Solo being the number one contender. And Cody tried to goat Jacob into taking that championship shot. And Solo thought that Jacob was going to take it. But Jacob, declared his love and admiration and dedication to Solo. And, Solo wasn't too much of a fan, you know, of him trying to get Jacob on his side. So he said, we ain't finna wait till next week. We finna start this shit right now. And that's when the Street Profits and DIY came out there because, they got beef with the Bloodline Tour. So they came out there, and then Nick came out there because he said, bitch, this ain't SmackDown. He said, bitch, this ain't Raw. Okay, we not finna have no mess on my show. Y'all gonna wait. Okay, y'all not gonna have this out right now on my show. So basically what he said is y'all can fight in the 8-man tag team, but Cody, since you so eager to fight the Bloodline and Solo, since you so eager to get your ass whooped again, next week on the season premiere of SmackDown, since we moved in the USA Network, let's throw it all out there. Let's have you out there and y'all can have yourselves a good old-fashioned fight. And then Nick said, you know what? Cody, I think you're right. We are tired of the same song and dance over and over again. We are tired of the Bloodlines interference in this match. So we're going to make this match a steel cage match for next week. And I said, oh, okay, Nick. All right. But here's the deal when it comes to steel cages. They do not prevent people from getting into them. I want that to be very clear. A steel cage match does not stop people from getting in the match. It simply has the doors locked, but it don't stop people from getting in the match. Okay? Now, that was set and everything was done. So the next match of the night was Tiffany Stratton versus Bailey. Bailey made her debut back on the SmackDown brand, okay? And everybody's happy, We didn't get to see the tag team champions today. It seems they're going to be doing a lot of work over on Raw for the next couple of weeks, Okay, so here's the deal with this match. This match actually was pretty decent. There was nothing wrong with the match. It had to happen. Tiffany was about to beat Bailey with the interference from Nia, but Nia ended up costing Tiffany the match by holding the ref's attention for too long, and Bailey was able to pick up the win, and she cost her friend a match. So I don't know how that's gonna work out between the two best friends, the besties or whatever, but Nia better keep her head on a swivel because Tiffany Stratton gonna use Pretty Deadly to get that championship if she ain't careful. And to be honest, I don't mind Tiffany Stratton and Pretty Deadly being together. I feel like they would make a nice little trio. They both, all of them, ignorant enough to be with each other, if that makes sense. So I don't have no problem with that. If that's one way they want to go about it, then cool. Whatever makes you happy. Giovanni Vinci had his debut match. If you want to call it that, see, all of us thought that Giovanni was getting ready to go out there and beat and beat Apollo, because Apollo is always the sacrificial lamb for everybody. And then I'm like, okay, we got to watch Apollo Crews get another loss, I guess. Here we go. But that ain't what happened, baby. Apollo Crews ended up getting Giovanni on a roll-up. And I should have known something was going to happen because Giovanni came out there in that custom Gucci-esque tracksuit. And I was like, why he ain't got no gear on? He usually come with his white gear, But he didn't. So he was out there doing his thing, and he ended up, too busy showboating and smiling and shit and doing his dumb ass shit, and ended up getting caught on a roll-up, child. And everybody mad, saying it done turned the man into a jobber, and I don't think that's the case. I think that Giovanni is getting acclimated to the SmackDown roster. And I think that that was a cool way to swerve us because we all thought that Giovanni was getting ready to beat Apollo Crews. And that's not what happened. And I'm okay with that. I'm 100% okay with how that went down. So, anyways, we also got another match. We had a match with Michin and Chelsea. That match got made in the bike. Now, Michin and Chelsea obviously got their own issues, but Chelsea was back there talking shit and mad. And Nicholas basically was like, you know what? Since you running your mouth a lot, why don't you go out there and settle this in the ring? And Michin, of course, was very excited about that. I told Don today that lady will go out there half dead if she have to, but she gonna get on that damn show. Okay, she gonna wrestle. Okay, come hell or high water, she is going out there to wrestle on TV. Okay. Michin ended up suffering a loss because big ass Piper big ass fell on her. Piper told Michin's ass up. She was already messed up to begin with. But girl, anyways, so after that, Chelsea won. They were in Edmonton, Calgary. So I think it's Edmonton, Canada. I'm sorry. They were in Edmonton, Canada. So, they obviously was going to have her win. She hadn't won in her hometown. I don't think she ever won in her hometown as long as she's been wrestling for the E. I haven't seen her win in Canada at all. So she was able to win. Good for Chelsea. We also got to see, what else did we get to see? What else? Oh, there was a triple threat match. Kevin, Austin, and Grayson. Grayson was messing with Kevin again. Kevin, Austin, and Grayson got into it. And Kevin was like, let's do a triple threat, and then we can see who's really the better of the two. So they did. And in that match, Kevin pretty much had majority of that match, but Austin and Grayson did get some offense going. However, towards the end, they got their wires crossed, and Kevin was able to pick up the win. But then they decided to attack Kevin in the end and left Kevin laid out. Now, this has led to several matches that have been made for next week. And I'm going to get to those in a second because the last match of the night was this 8-man tag match. I'm just going to tell you right now, this whole match was a waste of time in my opinion. You okay? Sorry, y'all. I got to put my mask on. Jared in here got he got the heebie-jeebies in here coughing and shit. I love him, but I don't want to get sick. So, to make it short and simple, the Bloodline won the match. Okay, they ended up winning. I can't explain as to why that even happened in the first place or why we had to sit through the match in the first place. It's no shade to them. Like, they're great. We love that. But it just wasn't a fun matchup. The boys was out there fighting and it was cool and everything. But for the Street Profits and DIY to lose after they got their asses whooped multiple times, it was unnecessary. It was unnecessary in my humble opinion. Okay. So the other thing that I forgot to tell y'all about was LA Knight. He came out there and cut a promo. That led to Carmelo coming out there and Andrade coming out there. And they seem to be in the middle of a best of 7 series with each other. So they came out there and obviously was taking their claim to that U.S. championship and possibly getting a title shot at some point. The boys ended up fighting each other, accidentally hitting LA Knight, and LA Knight hit both men with the BFT, and that was the end of that. The show closed with the Bloodline standing tall, obviously holding their belts up and holding up the ones. And I'm I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in the show. It wasn't the greatest show, but it was the last show on Friday night Smackdown for Fox. That was the final show. So no more tweeting from the WWE. No more tweeting from the WWE on Fox. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, anything like that, that's all going to disappear. And WWE is going to show up on USA Network for SmackDown permanently. And Raw next year in January is going to be moved to Netflix, which is going to be a very interesting time. With all that being said, like I told y'all, the match was booked. This is going to be an undisputed WWE Championship match, and this is going to be inside of a steel cage. And this is going to be the first week that SmackDown is going to be on the USA Network. So they got to do something big to draw people in. And I suspect that Roman Reigns is going to pop up this week. He haven't been there in a couple weeks, and it's obviously due to his uncle passing away 2 months from his father dying. That's a lot. And so these guys not being there and him being beat up the way that he was, that's a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I'm assuming that he'll pop back up next week during this steel cage match and cost Solo this title here, and it'll probably lead to something. It's got to lead to something. Kevin Owens seems to be on his lonesome for right now, and Grayson and Theory seem to be taking advantage of that. But they made a challenge to him via Nick Aldis. Like, he can pick anybody to be a tag team partner. We'll take him on and we'll be him. So Kevin has to find a partner next week. I suspect that partner will more than likely be Randall Orton, seeing as how he's been gone from SmackDown for a couple of weeks. And he just had a banger of a match at Bash in Berlin. I'm sure he's going to pop back up over on SmackDown, help KO out, and then they'll go their separate ways, or they might fight each other. And then Randy will be put on Cody at some point. I say by January, Randy and Cody probably will be battling it out. And I would let that battle go all the way out until Mania. I would not have Roman and Cody go back after each other until like the first PLE of the official wrestling year. At least in my opinion, I wouldn't. Anyways, and Andrade and Carmelo Hayes are going to fight it out. This is going to be part 5 of their series. They are currently tied at 2-2. So these two are going to be battling. It's going to be a really good match. Carmelo and Andrade have amazing chemistry with each other. So this is going to be a fun match next week. And I'm sure Bayley, hopefully the tag team champs with Bianca and Jade, they're probably going to be on the card because it is the first SmackDown over on USA Network. Bayley, Nia, Tiffany, all of them gonna pop up. Naomi probably gonna pop up. Everybody gonna be on deck for SmackDown next week. So it's gonna be an interesting time. Now Monday Night Raw is coming. Okay, and the one thing that is scheduled for sure is this fatal 4-way to determine the number 1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that it's gonna come down to Ilya and Jey Uso, and Jey Uso is probably going to will out. I think Sheamus is going to cost Pete this opportunity, and they're going to end up going in a separate direction with that. Pete's got 2 feuds going right now with Trick Williams and with Sheamus, so it's a lot going on. But we'll just have to wait and see. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your SmackDown recap and review. And I gave you a little bit of tea into next week's SmackDown and next Monday's Monday Night Raw. Okay. So just make sure y'all remember October 5th is Bad Blood. It is literally a month away from now. We're at 29 days because it is September 6th. So we're at 29 days going into getting ready to start beefing up for Bad Blood. So storylines are getting ready to be set and things are getting ready to start going for Bad Blood. Okay. And then after that, it'll be Crown Jewel, which they will announce soon. And then we have Survivor Series War Games in Vancouver, British Columbia. And this is going to be November 30th, 2024. Okay. So, with all that being said, I will see you guys next week. Hopefully, I'll be back to normal. But I'm still trying to get out the woods with this stomach flu. So, y'all gonna have to bear with me. And hopefully, I don't catch my husband's nasty cold. It's just not a good day in the Epps household. With all that being said, ladies and gents, I hope y'all watch the show. If you haven't watched it, please go and watch it. It's good, something to have good playing in the background. It was a simple, quiet, go home show for Smackdown. I know that it's been 5 years since Smackdown was on Fox, or at least first introduced on Fox. And while it's not the best thing, it was a good slot for SmackDown. It did great numbers for Fox. And I have to say that Fox did a great job marketing and utilizing WWE to bolster those PLEs. They did a great job on that. So for that, I have to say I'm gonna miss the tweets. I'm gonna miss the Instagram posts. I'm gonna miss everything they did to help push people to be engaged and interested online in SmackDown. I'll miss it, but I understand that business is business, and now it's time to move forward. So 5 years are gone. Thanks to Fox for housing us, and we're going back home to the USA Network. With all that being said, y'all look out for next week. The pod will be up, I believe, next week. If it's not up next week, hold tight. It is coming, okay? I promise you. I also am going to have my personal podcast up where I'm going to be discussing some current events that we saw that have come across the news. Trust me, that personal pod is getting made as we speak. I have to edit it and get it up. So that stuff is coming. Y'all can always get all y'all wrestling tea from some of my podcast fam. Marks with Mikes, get your podcast. AT2 does more of the politics, TV shows, the mess, YouTube drama. But if you're still into looking for more wrestling content and information, you can go to Culture Cash. You can go to Smacking It Raw. And you can go to Know the Ropes podcast, which is KTR. All of these podcasts I'm mentioning are really, really great places for you to get all of your information in wrestling if you can't get it from Down for the Count. Just because we haven't posted don't mean there ain't nothing coming. So just sit tight. We are still going to go on our hiatus at the end of the year. After Survivor Series, we're going to be done until January, which is perfect because we want to give a great assessment of the very first show over on Netflix. And I don't know, we might do that live so we can kind of have some content going. With all that being said, loves, I hope you guys enjoy the show. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys in my next one. Okay? Bye.